A cursed wedding. What mystical force dragged the young fiancé into the other world? And who summoned the entity? Don't miss out. The clairvoyance will reveal the secret of a deadly love triangle. This is Psychic Investigations. There are only true and impressive stories here. People who call themselves clairvoyants investigate intricate criminal cases and shocking paranormal phenomena. On March 8, 2019, this young man arrived at his girlfriend's house with a bouquet of 101 roses. In the presence of her mother, he got down on one knee and proposed to her.
She agreed. She said yes.
However, the wedding never took place. The day after the proposal, Tetiana, his fiancée, ended up in the intensive care unit and soon died.
It's so difficult without her.
The grief-stricken parents believe an otherworldly force took their daughter to the beyond, because nobody dies that suddenly, being only 21. The mother asks the psychics to come and unravel this mystery.
Who, why, and how? My husband and I can't find the answers alone.
According to the mother, on March 9th, her daughter was cheerful and happy. She and her fiancé were discussing their upcoming wedding at home when, all of a sudden, she pointed in front of her as if she saw someone invisible.
She looked at me like that. Look, she said, pointing her finger, and then she fainted.
After that, terrible seizures began.
The ambulance rushed her to the intensive care. They first diagnosed meningitis, and then said it was meningoencephalitis. Some doctors said the former, and the others the latter.
Tetiana's condition worsened every day. The doctors couldn't provide any prognosis. They claimed it was an anomaly they couldn't explain.
Professors and specialists from Kiev arrived, and they even consulted foreign medics. But nobody could find the cause.
Desperate to save her daughter, the mother even invited priests to the hospital.
We brought in 5 priests. They said the doctors could do nothing, as the reason she was there was not medical.
Until the very end, Tetiana's parents and fiancé believed that their beloved girl would wake up.
We hoped she'd open her eyes, and everything would be fine.
But the miracle didn't happen. Tetiana never emerged from her coma. 2 weeks later, on April 3rd, her heart stopped beating. She was 21.
She died in our arms. We never left her side. Her heart simply stopped.
The mother dressed her daughter in a wedding gown, but not for the wedding, but for the funeral. And her fiancé kissed her, but she was lying in the coffin, lifeless. But what's most horrifying is that just 4 years before that, Tetiana's mother buried her elder son, Serhiy. He had a wife and a little daughter left.
His blood pressure increased rapidly. He collapsed next to his car, and then seizures started. Then he slipped into a coma, and that was it.
He suffered a stroke at only 26 years old, and like his sister, he experienced strong seizures and slipped into a coma before passing away. The woman lost her both children, barely in their 20s, and she describes it as living through true hell. Now, she can only talk to them at the cemetery.
My precious son, my dear children, now you are both gone. Our darling children, both are gone.
The mother suspects that her son took her daughter away, claiming that before the tragedy, on the night of March 8th, Tetiana saw her deceased brother in a dream. She woke up in tears.
I asked her, "What's the matter?" And she said, "Mom, I had a dream of Serhiy. He said he wanted 30 white roses." I said, "Well, he would be 30 on May 3rd. Maybe that's why he asked for the 30 white roses."
But in her dream, Tetiana told her brother, "On the 3rd day, there will be 21 roses of different colors." At that time, no one could guess what it meant.
And she passed away on April 3rd, exactly a month before his birthday.
On Tetiana's grave, Mikhailo put a bouquet of 21 roses of different colors that represented her age. The mother doesn't understand why Serhi would take away his sister or why such tragedy befell their family.
I would appreciate it if the psychics came and helped us understand the reason.
2 psychics from our project, Olena Kurilova and Rubina Tsibulska, agreed to help.
Last night, I tuned in to the photos of the deceased brother and sister. And then I woke up in the middle of the night and saw Tetiana's spirit in front of me. She said the wedding was cursed. I see 2 wax dolls of the bride and the groom. I see someone tear off the head of the groom's figure right before the wedding.
Like voodoo dolls, looks like a curse. Hello.
Hello?
God, hello. I've been looking forward to your arrival. My name is Tetiana. Please come with me.
You suspect that your son took your daughter away.
Yes,
Do you have his personal items left?
I do. I took these from the hospital. It's all I have left from him.
After Serhi died, he didn't only visit his sister, but also you. You saw him.
I saw him at home. It sent shivers down my spine.
Tetiana says she spent 2 sleepless nights at the hospital by her son's side while he was in a coma, and on the 3rd night she went home to rest for at least a few hours.
I was lying awake. Then I saw him come into the room. He walked around the room and then went out through the window. And then they called me and said he died.
Your son keeps coming back to this world because of his little daughter. He's worried about her. She's in danger, just like your son and daughter.
But why?
Serhi didn't take his sister to the other world. He appeared in her dream to warn her about the danger. Your children are victims of the same force, and I sense that their deaths are connected to a woman. Your son is here. He's embracing you, Tetiana. He said, "Save my daughter," and then he vanished.
I just can't understand why or who could do such things.
Quiet.
I think I heard something.
The voice is young and clear.
My Tetiana?
She's over there. Come on. She's calling us in there.
This is Tetiana's room.
Tetiana, come to us. She's here.
My Tetiana? No one touched it. She stood in the middle of the room, but the curtain swayed and the candle flickered immediately.
She sang softly.
Tetiana, my baby.
You talked to me, but I couldn't respond. You said everything would be fine.
I told her, everything will be fine, Tetiana.
Your daughter senses that her fiancé is nearby. She says, "Call Mikhailo."
Mikhailo arrived to find out from the psychics who killed his fiancée.
She says, "You made me happy." She's grateful to you for your care and love.
Be brave.
I can't live without you. I can't accept that you're no longer with us.
She says she loves the ring you gave her.
The ring with a little gem, just as she wanted.
Did you put it in her coffin?
Yes.
She says, give it to him. What does she mean?
It's probably for Mikhailo.
This?
Thanks.
She says, I didn't have time to give it to you.
It turns out that before her death, Tetiana prepared a gift for Mikhailo, which only her mother knew about.
She says, find the strands to live. Find the strands. And be happy. For her.
I will. I'll do it for her.
Tetiana's spirit showed me a young woman kneeling and saying something about a child. And I also heard her say, don't take him away.
At that moment, I heard the voice of Tetiana's daughter. She said, look for the woman who didn't want the wedding. Tetiana, I see you're not feeling well. Let's go outside for some fresh air.
What's that?
Your daughter's spirit wants me to look in the mirror.
She probably wants to add something.
I see a groom and a bride in the mirror. 2 wax dolls. The male figure seems to be missing its head. I saw this image earlier today. What is it?
My son was married. There was a large wedding cake, and we bought those figurines. They were made of wax, the bride and the groom. We put them on the cake, but the groom's head broke off.
The woman says that her daughter-in-law's mother was responsible for decorating the cake, and she still doesn't understand what happened to the groom's figurine.
I mentioned to Rubina this morning that this resembles voodoo magic.
Look for the woman who didn't want the wedding. Could the spirit mean your daughter-in-law's mother?
Once, we were entertaining them at home. I was running around carrying plates, and she probably didn't expect me to come in. My daughter-in-law, Maria, was there, and her mother said, don't worry, darling. All of this will be yours, the house and everything in it.
So she told her daughter all your property would be hers, right?
Yes.
That's a twist. Well, if she killed your entire family, then indeed, all your property would be hers. Could it be a curse on your family then?
She told me, your Tetiana won't live past 20. And I said, why are you saying such things to me?
This is awful. Serhi's spirit warned us that his daughter was in danger. Perhaps it's because she lives with that woman. Where does she live?
It's not far from here. I'm afraid.
We'll talk to her first.
Only Oksana, the mother of Tetiana's daughter-in-law, and her granddaughter live in the house. After her husband's death, the girl's mother went to work abroad.
Hello.
Hello.
Tetiana asked us for help.
Where is she?
She's here.
Could I see her then?
Tetiana.
Why did you tell Tetiana her daughter would soon die and all her property would be your daughter's?
That's what you said at my home.
My God, what are you talking about?
I heard you say to your son-in-law, you should be grateful you're still alive.
I said that?
You did.
I want to know why my son went to you as a healthy man, but then died out of a sudden.
What are you talking about?
Oksana, how about the wedding cake? With the groom's figurine, what happened to its head? Did you do something using magic?
No.
But I see that you did practice magic.
I've never done anything bad to anyone in my life.
You told me my Tetiana wouldn't live past 20.
How did you know that?
It was just intuition.
Give me your hand.
Sure.
Excuse me, but what you call intuition is commonly known as the black tongue. It's when you blurt something out without thinking, and it comes true.
Well, yes, I won't deny.
That woman didn't do anything bad to Tetiana's family, but she needs to be very careful about what she says. Despite your words, you loved Serhi as your own son.
We loved him so much. Our souls were dedicated to him.
And you're very sorry such a tragedy occurred to his sister. But you can't come to terms with Tetiana.
It's impossible.
It's hard for her. She's devastated. Her children are gone. She has only her granddaughter left, but the girl lives in your house.
This girl has left 2 grandmothers and a mother. You need to find reconciliation.
Let go of old grudges. You should support Tetiana in her grief, and she needs to see the girl.
Sure, no problem.
Tetiana is happy. She can now embrace her granddaughter, Alina, again. Seeing her grandmother from the yard, the little girl runs up to her.
I love you so much, and I never forget you. The ring.
It's my ring. It simply slipped off my finger. This ring wasn't too big, and it never slipped off my finger before.
I lost my wedding ring this morning. Now your ring has fallen off.
Tetiana is here.
For some reason, her spirit keeps pointing us to rings.
I don't understand why the ring.
Your daughter is pointing at this ring.
It's my wedding ring.
The answer is in it. Someone didn't want your wedding. But who?
My husband's first wife.
Did she ask you to return him?
Yes, she did, but I didn't want him. I even told her to keep him. I didn't want him, and I didn't steal him from her.
Tetiana met her current husband sometime after her first marriage ended. Her son was 3 years old. Vasil gave her a lift in his car, and he fell head over heels in love at first sight. Back then, he was already married, but he said he was planning to divorce because his wife constantly caused him scandals.
He didn't have a normal life with her, but once he filed for a divorce, she suddenly told him she was pregnant.
Tetiana is sure that the woman simply tried to keep her husband, and it worked because he didn't leave his wife due to her pregnancy. However, Vasil still loved Tetiana and dreamed of being with her, even though she didn't want to hear about it.
He would come to visit me, but I would scold him. You have a wife, a family.
But the man left his family a year after his son was born anyway.
He said, I won't live, but I won't give up on you. We got married the next year, on January 12th.
Vasil raised Tetiana's son as his own. 3 years later, they had a daughter, but both their children eventually died.
Both deaths are related to weddings. The son died shortly after getting married, and the daughter died after the engagement. Could this be the revenge of the abandoned woman because Vasil married someone else?
She came here. She knelt before the icons. I said, Oksana, I'm not running after him. If you love him, take him.
Was she pregnant when she knelt?
Yes, but it wasn't obvious yet.
A pregnant woman who is willing to humble herself to win back her husband is capable of many things.
The name of the first wife of Tetiana's husband, just like that of the mother of her daughter-in-law, is also Oksana. When the clairvoyants arrived at her home, it was already dark.
No one's home.
Later, through other people, Tetiana found out that the woman had gone abroad a few days ago.
Let's go outside.
Tetiana found Oksana's photo on social media. We won't show it due to ethical considerations.
Let me have a look. Here you are. Was there any magic from Oksana? Were there any magical actions directed at Tetiana or her children? There was no magic.
I can hear her shout. She's saying terrible things to you.
Yes, it happened. May you be cursed, and may your children die. She said a lot of things like that.
She shouted, if you marry, your life won't be worth living.
Yes, she did.
I sense that this outcry of pain from the offended woman turned into a curse, and it was what caused the deaths of your children. Due to the unique energy of the pregnant woman, her curse holds immense power. The curse affected all the weddings in your family. That's why your son's marriage and your daughter's engagement became fatal for them.
It was a cry from the soul, an emotional outburst of tears and pain.
She didn't really wish for everything to turn out this way.
But once the words were pronounced, the mechanism was set in motion.
We need to neutralize the curse so it doesn't threaten your granddaughter. We need to perform a ritual. For that, I'll need water from a natural source.
Please give me your wedding ring. Since Tatiana's wedding triggered the curse, we needed to neutralize it through the ring.
It's going to be your family talisman. Take it, Tatiana. Eventually, you'll pass this ring on to your granddaughter. This girl is the continuation of your lineage. Give her all the love you didn't have time to give your children, and your home will be filled with laughter and joy again.
It's such a relief. Life seemed meaningless before, but now there's hope. Thank you so much. At least I'll be able to go on living now.
An incredibly tragic story. Who would have thought that the tears and curses of the pregnant woman could lead to such consequences? A mystical force took a man to the other side right before his wedding. Where did the deadly evil force come from? Don't miss out. The psychics will reveal a real city of the dead. Welcome to Psychic Investigations. Tatiana is 29. She lives in a small Ukrainian town and works as a kindergarten teacher. And this is Sasha, Tatiana's high school sweetheart. Life took them in different directions after graduation, and they went to study at opposite ends of the country to pursue higher education.
I was the one who initiated the breakup.
Tatiana and Sasha didn't see each other for years. During this period, they both entered into marriage and bore children. However, 2 years ago, after she divorced her husband, Tatiana came back home with her daughter. There, she ran into Sasha, who was also single by then. The old affection was rekindled.
He said he had no meaning in life before our reunion. He said, "I don't understand why I'm so lucky to have you again."
Sasha had a special way with children. When Tatiana introduced him to Lisa, she took to him immediately.
The little girl even started calling Sasha Dad. Soon after, Tatiana discovered she was pregnant and was overjoyed. The couple decided to formalize their union and marry. But 2 weeks before the wedding, the man suddenly passed away.
On that day, I went to the city to pick up my wedding dress. I received 150 calls from him. He urged me to come home quickly, saying we would go fishing together.
Tatiana took the dress and went back home. After the lunch, the couple and their friends went to the local pond, and something absolutely odd started happening from that moment on.
He warned us all, "Don't even think about jumping after me."
Having warned everyone about the danger, the man then dove into the pond himself.
He gently rubbed Tatiana's belly and then jumped in.
What happened next remains a mystery to date. The friends say it looked like some kind of invisible force pulled him into the heart of the danger.
Then I turned around and saw his back.
It was a shock. Sasha dove into the pond, but didn't re-emerge for a few minutes. When his friends rushed to help and pulled him out, he was already dead.
I couldn't believe it. I hoped he would open his eyes.
The man broke his neck, and death was instantaneous, and his pregnant fiancé witnessed it all firsthand.
Everyone was shocked. Tatiana started screaming.
Tatiana lost the love of her life. Just weeks before the tragedy, the couple learned they were expecting a son. Thus, the boy became half-orphaned before even being born. And after the funeral, strange things started happening to the pregnant woman.
I had a wooden cross on a string around my neck. One morning, as I was washing up, but the string snapped and it fell off.
Tatiana thought it was an ominous sign, whether it was a coincidence or not. At Sasha's memorial service, she nearly lost her life herself.
After the service, we were driving home from the church when a wheel fell off.
The car veered off the road into the ditch. Tatiana miraculously survived, but soon found herself again on the brink of death.
As we were leaving the store, a car came out of nowhere and almost hit me.
Last year, in September, Tatiana gave birth. The labor was hard, and she lost a lot of blood and barely survived. The doctors made an incredible effort to save her, and less than a month later, she ended up in the intensive care unit again. During the baptism of her son in the church, Tetiana experienced anaphylactic shock.
It happened while the boy was being baptized. I had a severe allergic reaction to a wasp sting.
There were many people there, but only she has a severe allergy, and she was the only one stung by a wasp.
Within minutes, Tetiana's throat swelled up. She started struggling to breathe and passed out.
They rushed me to the hospital and gave me an injection just in time. Otherwise,
Only God knows what would have happened.
Tetiana didn't dwell on why so much misfortune was befalling her until she saw her deceased husband at home.
I got up in the middle of the night for a drink of water, and then I had the feeling that he was standing next to me. When I looked, I saw a shadow.
Tetiana rose in terror, thinking why she was seeing her deceased man. Was she going crazy? Was her deceased fiancé trying to take her to the other side? The young mother is desperate. She feared for her life. Even more, she fears that her little son might become an orphan. The psychics are her only hope of protecting herself from death.
I am terrified, and I really want them to come and help me.
At Tetiana's request, clairvoyant Yaroslava Fedorova agreed to help. When we showed the psychic Tetiana's photo, her vision shocked us.
For 3 nights in a row, I've been having nightmares. A murky, dirty, large stream of water, and in it, a coffin. In that coffin, there's a girl in a wedding dress, and she really looks like the one in this photo. Then, the ground starts cracking under my feet, and I find myself falling into another world. And there, everyone is dead and walks the streets like zombies. It's like a city of the dead.
Another psychic, Larisa Hutsanu, also had shocking visions.
I see a man from behind. He's running through the forest. He's terrified. And a crowd of people is chasing him. They're very strange. I see a woman without a head, and a man with his head split in half, and another man, as black as coal. They all want something from him. This running man.
But how are these terrifying visions connected to the constant threats to Tetiana's life?
Hello, come in, please.
Hello.
Let's go over there.
I have a feeling that I'm walking into a thick and sticky spider web.
And my ears pop.
Oh my! Ammonia! Bring the ammonia! The driver should have it in his first aid kit.
The psychic faints as soon as she enters the yard.
Give me your hand.
Yaroslava, wait. I felt cold hands on my neck, choking me. It was something from the other side. The entity was very aggressive. It was warning me to stay away from this house. I can't even stand. It's pulling me down to the ground. And I sense that someone has already mentioned it too.
Yes, my fiancé also said so. One night, I woke up to his screams. I couldn't wake him up. With great effort, he woke up. I asked him what he was dreaming about. He said something black grabbed him by the neck and was pulling him.
The psychics decide to check the energy inside the house.
A supernatural force resides here, like a spider spinning a web of energy throughout the rooms and hiding in wait. You have a child. He's just a baby.
Yes.
Little Oleksiy is sleeping now. While his mom talks to the psychics, his grandparents are watching over the boy.
Let's go see the yard. Sasha, I sense a sudden, violent death.
He loved and knew these places. He always said, "You have to be careful with water."
I feel like he had a previous experience with water.
Yes, it's true.
Did he fall into it? I sense he had an injury.
He had a back injury. His friend accidentally knocked him into the water. They barely saved him. After that, he spent 2 weeks in bed.
Well, he had sound reasons to warn you about the water. Then why, after all he'd been through, did Sasha so recklessly dive into the water again? Was some mystical force pushing him to his death?
We need to see the place where it happened.
Then I'll go with you. Mom will look after Oleksiy. May 24th was the last time I was here with my husband. I haven't been back since that incident.
Let me work here.
I see some kind of energy vortexes on the surface. There have been other deaths here.
Yaroslava, do you see the spirit? He's showing me that he fell asleep and slid into the water. He drowned.
That happened here, yes. He was sitting here and fell into the water while asleep.
No, but I see 3 other men.
People said it had happened here before.
About 5 years ago, a local man drowned there. He was 25 years old, and a boy also drowned. He dove and drowned.
Yes, many men die young here.
And I also see a girl from long ago. Such long, fair hair, very much like yours, bright blue eyes. She's dead, and she's here. But it seems more like a suicide.
I see water up to my knees and a coffin. A girl lies in the coffin, and they're carrying her.
That was the same vision I had this morning. A girl in a coffin, floating in a murky, swirling stream. So standing there, I expected the ground to crack beneath my feet. Just like in my dream. She didn't drown here. It seems she was driven out of her home. She couldn't go back. She had nowhere to go.
A girl named Vera lived here. She was a real beauty and had long, fair hair down to her waist. She had a mother, but they didn't get along, and so she went and drowned herself.
The girl was missing for several days. During that time, heavy rain poured down, with a month's worth of precipitation falling in a single week. The village was knee-deep in water.
I remember her funeral. There was water everywhere.
But what does the girl who committed suicide have to do with the deaths of Sasha and the other young men?
She's like a guarding spirit of this place, and she takes them. By the way, pay attention that they were all single. Young men drown every few years because the girl's spirit collects fiancés, and they drown around the same time she died. 3 of the other boys drowned in June, but Sasha drowned in May. Something doesn't add up here. The thing is that your fiancé has nothing to do with this all. He was drawn in. He's tied to death. I think we need to go back to your home and figure out what's going on there.
I hate this pond. It deprived me of everything I care about.
Unexpectedly, the psychics ask the driver to stop the van. They get out a few hundred meters from Tetiana's house.
I feel drawn over here. It's a completely dead crossroads. There are dead people here. There and there are the dead. We're walking on a road where the dead walk. There's the same fog as in your yard. Over here, on this side, I see two dead people. A man and a woman. Their bones are broken.
A man and a woman died in a car crash on this spot.
They stand in this black fog, and for some reason, they are drawn to your house.
They seem to be from long ago, about 20 years dead. So, Sasha can't be connected to their death. He was very young then. But the spirits are somehow drawn to the yard where he lived.
There's a black mass coming from over there, and there's a cross hanging here.
Who's standing there?
A burnt man.
A man burned here long ago, in the house.
I see a headless woman.
There was a woman who worked as an agronomist. A driver didn't see her and backed up. The truck ran over her head and crushed it.
All the spirits we saw on the road were highly unusual.
It's as if, after death, their souls didn't go to heaven or even stay on earth, but somehow fell into the ground.
And it feels like they spent a long time underground before they re-emerged on earth again. There's some kind of portal here, and all these people who died unnatural deaths are in this black fog.
What portal is the psychic talking about? How did it appear in this village?
At first, I saw an ordinary road, an ordinary village. And then, the ground beneath. My feet started cracking. And I saw an ancient city. A dead city.
It turned out that archaeologists unearthed the largest Scythian city, Galonis, not far from this village. The city stretched across several nearby villages.
The city of Galonis is unique. It's 34 kilometers wide. Even Babylon pales in comparison to Galonis.
This is amazing. Right beneath the psychic's feet lies the largest ancient city in Europe.
In the 3rd century BC, the city began to decline until it eventually turned into an ordinary town, covered by a layer of earth.
Modern Ukrainians built their homes on top of the ancient Galonis. But why do the spirits of people who die now end up in the underground city?
Maybe they died on a full moon, when portals between worlds open. But I don't understand why the spirits came to the surface. We'd better go somewhere else.
I couldn't get it why all those spirits were going to the yard where Sasha lived. Were they threatening Tatiana's son and her?
We need to talk to Sasha, and they all came here, you know. Can you work in such conditions?
I can't.
And then it hit me. Today is a full moon, and the portals between the worlds are open again. And for the spirits, this is a real chance to be freed. We could help. We needed to perform a ritual. This is the corridor that all those souls took. I poured water on the road to guide them to where they should go. Immediately. It's your son's grandfather, Sasha's father.
Sasha was only 13 when his father died. The man had a stomach ulcer and bled to death.
There's a deep sadness for his son. As a relative, he should have protected his son in some way, but he couldn't. The dead souls started following your husband after his father's death. He was in deep grief, struggling with the fact that he lost his father.
The psychics decide to try again to contact Sasha's spirit.
He's here, and he's crying, and...
He says, I am so grateful to you for being in my life. But I should have also thanked the one who gave us this gift. I turned away from God.
It's my sin.
When his father died, he, struck by severe grief, lost faith in God. And as a result, there was no guardian angel to watch over him.
I finally understood what choked me when I entered the house. It was the devil's messenger who was near the man. As soon as Sasha renounced God, the devil attached his messenger to him.
That's why his father's spirit couldn't protect him.
And this sin spread not only to you and him, but also to your child. Your son became a link between the energy of his dead father and living mother. The same force that threatened and eventually took her husband is threatening Tetiana.
You need to order prayer services for Sasha in 7 monasteries. And secondly, if your son becomes even too religious, you should support him instead of preventing it.
He wants to tell you something. Tetiana, you changed my life. You made me happy. Our son is part of me. I love you so much. Forgive me. And he's hugging you for the last time.
Just tell him that I love him a lot. Thank you so much for helping me.
A 21-year-old man was found hanged just 2 months after his wedding. Who is responsible for his death? Don't miss it. The psychics will uncover a shocking secret. This 21-year-old young man was named Mikhailo Sheremet. He lived in a small town in Ukraine. About a year ago, he died. His body was found on the outskirts of town, near the highway, 3.5 kilometers from home.
Everything just stopped inside me.
The deceased worked at a local restaurant as a waiter. 2 months before his death, he got married. He and his wife, Victoria Yashchenko, lived separately from their parents. He seemed happy. His whole life was ahead of him. But one Sunday evening, Mikhailo left home and never came back.
According to the official police report, Mikhailo Sheremet's death resulted from mechanical asphyxiation by hanging.
This news shocked the victim's family and friends.
He never said a bad word. He always smiled. His eyes always shone.
His loved ones don't believe that Mikhailo would have taken his own life. After all, everything seemed fine. A beautiful wife, a good job, and many plans for the future.
We don't believe he could have killed himself.
Maybe there was some conflict. It's such a shame. He was so outgoing. He was such a good boy.
The victim's family is convinced Mikhailo was murdered. During his funeral, they noticed some suspicious details.
We noticed a black and blue mark near his neck, right behind his left ear, about the size of a 5-penny coin, either from an electric shock or from being hit.
If a stun gun was used, it could have immobilized a person for up to 20 minutes. During that time, the muscles would seize up, and the victim wouldn't even be able to lift an arm. Theoretically, such a state could have been used by the killer, or killers, to put a noose around Mikhailo's neck and hang him.
To understand what really happened to Mikhailo, his family turned to people with extraordinary abilities.
We want the psychics to help us learn the truth about how our son died. Because I just can't believe it.
Psychics Kayal Alekperov and Jana Shulakova begin working with a photograph of the deceased.
I sense that some woman was involved in this young man's death. I see a rural house and a fight over money. I hear the word graves.
What I see frightens me. I see a spider trapped in a jar. There's a kind of curse where someone tries to block all the roads for a person. There's something else. I can clearly hear someone saying that this guy's place is in the cemetery. That's just absurd. But the phrase clearly sounds like he will be buried exactly in that place.
The parents of the deceased meet the psychics in their own home. This is where Mihailo was born and spent almost his entire life.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you very much for coming.
Let's go inside the house. I saw the spirit of some elderly woman near the deceased's mother. She looked very angry, and if she could, she would simply kill this mother. I need to perform a ritual.
Hayal Alekperov is now in Mihailo's room. Everything is as it was during the boy's life. Meanwhile, Zhana Shulikova went outside.
Yes, I think I'll walk around a bit. The house is disgusting. It's impossible to stay in that room. The atmosphere feels like a tomb. I saw a spider trapped in a jar again. It is so cramped and uncomfortable that it doesn't even have the strength to move.
I'm trying to connect with what happened to your son. I feel it was cold when he died.
It is spring, March.
For me, it's not like this was something the person did intentionally to themselves.
So the young man was killed? Who and why could have done this?
Your son was an incredibly kind and sensitive person. I feel he was a true Ukrainian, a patriot.
Mihailo had a collection of Cossack figurines. He loved Ukrainian literature and from childhood practiced folk dances. His favorite was hopak.
He loved Ukrainian clothing.
I saw your son hanging by a rope, and next to him was some woman.
There's no woman involved at all. I clearly see that the rope is being held by male hands.
I see the image of a woman. I can't say her age or what she looks like, but she is standing next to your son.
Well, the hands I see are only male.
I say what I see, and I see a woman. She really wanted your son to die. I do not sense a man near the deceased at the moment of death.
Who is really behind Mihailo's death? A man or a woman?
I need to visit the place where your son's body was found.
Go to the scene. For me, it's easier to go to the cemetery.
I would like to go with you.
All right.
I'll take you to the cemetery.
Just 15 minutes later, Zhana Shulikova and the deceased's father, Volodymyr, arrived at the cemetery.
This is my son's burial place.
A strange grave, so close to the neighbors. I sensed that the man buried next to Mihailo was not a relative. But for some reason, there was always some connection between them. We need to speak with the boy. What were you doing that evening? He's arguing with the guy. He's known him for a long time. A friend?
On the last day of his life, Mihailo met up with his friend Sasha. At the time, he was 19. The boys had known each other even before Mihailo met his future wife online.
He said he liked a girl, and he suggested they start dating very quickly.
We chatted online. 2 days later, we met in person. He was kind of sincere, open. After a couple of days, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I agreed. A month later, he proposed.
Everything moved very quickly between them. He said he deeply fell in love and wanted to be with her so much.
Mihailo disappeared on a Sunday. His wife went to visit her parents, and the guys were doing some men's stuff. The deceased had a car, and they decided to wash it.
It turned out Sasha was the last person to see Mihailo alive. That day, Mihailo's wife, Victoria, came home from her parents around 9:30 in the evening, and Mihailo walked Sasha back to his place.
The friend leaves. They part ways.
According to the analysis of Sasha's phone records, he was at home all night. There is no information indicating his involvement in Mihailo's death.
But what happened after the friends said goodbye? Did the young man meet his killer on the way home?
Right at this spot, about 50 meters from the entrance, Mihailo and his friend Sasha parted ways. It was approximately 10 p.m. on March 3rd. Sasha went home to the left. The place where Mihailo Sheramet's body was found is in this direction, about 3 kilometers and 500 meters away. It would have taken him about 30 minutes to walk there.
But how and why did Mihailo end up near the highway?
You know, I get the feeling that Mihailo is walking. He's thinking about something all the time, and he's scared.
Meanwhile, Tayal Alekperov and the deceased's mother arrived at the spot where the young man's body was found.
I feel that same feminine energy again, and your son is in a very strange state. He was very worried about something. At that moment, I felt aggression from some woman, and not just toward the deceased, but toward his entire family. My spirits showed me some house. Your son dreamed of having a place of his own, but he never got the chance to live there.
Yes. We bought a house for our son.
The parents bought the house for 10,000 hryvnias from one of the local elders who lived there with his wife.
We bought the house and took care of the old man and woman who lived there.
Mihailo's parents wanted to renovate that house so he could live there with his wife. But it wasn't meant to be. The young man died under mysterious circumstances.
And what's the name of your son's wife?
Victoria.
I feel that they loved each other, but sometime before the tragedy, they started having some problems in the family. They were arguing.
I saw a vision, like Mihailo was walking around the city, maybe about an hour before his death. And he was very worried about something. I got the feeling that Mihailo's wife might have had someone else. It keeps showing me a circle of family, specifically a wedding. At the wedding, there's an argument with someone who's an outsider.
As it turned out, at Mihailo and Victoria's wedding, there was one of her acquaintances named Alexander. The girl insists he's just a friend, but Mihailo's parents are sure he's her ex-boyfriend.
I've been friends with him since I was 14. He's a very dear person to me. He's always supported me, helped me. Really, he's just a friend.
They all came to the wedding, like a whole crew of her ex-boyfriend's friends. She's still friends with him to this day.
I see some argument at your son's wedding, and it somehow involves Victoria. But I don't quite understand how.
According to Mihailo's parents, there was a conflict between Victoria's friend and their son at the wedding.
There wasn't any conflict between them. We were sitting there and he kind of said to Mihailo, "Let's talk. Don't be angry. Don't get upset. Don't be jealous of me. First of all, I have a girlfriend. And second, she really is just a friend to me. Like a little sister, nothing more."
I think my son might have either suspected something or gotten jealous of her. Or perhaps even caught her in the apartment. Maybe there was some misunderstanding between them. And they got rid of him there.
We need to go and talk to the wife.
Can we meet with Victoria?
Word that the psychics had arrived in the town spread quickly. And when the clairvoyants reached Victoria, she and her mother were already waiting at the gate.
Will you let us in?
I don't want her coming in here. She shouted, threatened my family, and said she'd go to all the churches and light candles so that all my relatives would end up in nooses. After that, should I let her in the house? Never in my life.
God bless your lips if they speak the truth.
What Victoria is saying is truly chilling. Right after the wedding, she and Mihailo lived at her parents' house. One day, he went to visit his mother. When he came back, he started packing his things. He said that from now on, they'd be living at his place.
His mother came here to our house, saying she would go to every church and light candles for the repose of my family's souls. And she was screaming, "I will pray, I will get on my knees. Your family will end up in nooses."
Only after her beloved's funeral did Victoria learn that on that day, her husband intended to end his life.
His mother told me at the funeral that he came home. They quarreled and locked himself in his room. She knocked but couldn't get through to him. Then she forced the door open, broke the latch, and he was jumping back from the wardrobe because there was a rope hanging there.
Was Mihailo truly contemplating ending his life before, and did he finally go through with it?
You have sinned. You sent my child to the grave. Yours is out at bars, running around, while my son lies rotting in the ground.
Aren't you ashamed now after how you all tormented him? Aren't you ashamed to stand here and lie? Were you the one holding the candle?
Then tell me.
Do you see any guilt in yourself?
Explain to me, why did my child live in your house and end up in the cemetery? Why was he crying here?
He wasn't crying with me. Hit your chest.
A crowd of locals gathered around the deceased's former family, as the women were yelling so loudly they could be heard all over the street.
Let the neighbors stand here as witnesses. Let them say whether my child was running around bars or whether she was working.
Shame on you for talking about this child like that.
May God bless your lips.
I am so sick and tired of all this. Everyone shut your mouths.
The child is like,
quiet.
We came here to help you understand how your son died, not to get involved in your family issues. If you don't calm down, we won't be able to work.
After those words from the psychic, the women settled down, and Victoria invited everyone into the house.
Now I'm seeing some kind of argument. It happened at your wedding and is connected to money.
The photographer told me to take the largest bills and some dollars, stuff them in my dress like this, fan them out, and take a photo with Mihailo. But Mihailo's mother started making a fuss that a man should hold the money.
It wasn't quite like that. When people gave them money, Mihailo held the bags with it. Then his mother-in-law came over and snatched them from him.
Valentina, I didn't snatch them.
I said, that's the children's money. Give it back to them.
Valentina, that's not what happened. That's not how it was.
I took the money from Mihailo. I said, let me handle it alone.
It wasn't you who took it, Victoria.
I took the bag.
Her mother took it.
Don't I know what I did?
Valentina!
I'm telling you, I took the bag.
You spent that money, right?
That money was used for the funeral.
Who is this friend of yours?
I've been friends with him for 5 years.
Why were your personal life and relationship with Mihailo discussed with him?
Because Mihailo upset me a little. I needed someone to cry to.
Victoria says that after the wedding, Mihailo changed a lot.
The first evening seemed normal, but then every night Sasha started coming over. He was a groomsman at the wedding. They began throwing parties.
So, is Mihailo's friend Sasha, who last saw him alive, to blame for his death?
They drank heavily. Sometimes they would fall asleep in the bathtub. I had to drag them to the couch because they were not in their right minds.
At that moment, I felt that the guy didn't kill him, just like Victoria's friend.
On the night Mihailo died, Victoria's friend Alexander was in Kiev with his girlfriend. His involvement in the murder was not confirmed.
I saw the silhouette of a woman again. There is the spirit of a woman here. She's standing over there, pointing at you with her hand. She says, "They owe me."
A deceased married couple?
That's the grandmother from that house.
Then I understood why from the very start of the investigation, Kayal saw a woman and I saw a man who were somehow involved in Mihailo's death. They were those deceased elderly people. Spirits can kill too, especially if they were deeply wronged in life, which is what Mihailo's parents did.
I see this old woman among other elderly people like herself.
She was in a nursing home. This woman is from that house. The house was transferred to the in-laws. And when that man died, the in-laws were supposed to care for the woman until her death. But she ended up in a nursing home. Before she died, she cursed them a lot.
When I was still at the cemetery, I felt that the man buried next to Mihailo is connected to the family. It turned out he was the owner of the house now owned by Mihailo's family.
We cared for those people and didn't have the house transferred to us. We bought it, cared for that man, and buried him. The woman refused.
People say they mistreated that grandmother.
We interviewed the neighbors of the grandmother, named Halina. People told us things that make your hair stand on end. When the elderly woman was taken to the nursing home, she cursed the entire Sheramet family.
Halina cursed them fiercely and said, "One day you will lay all your children next to Anatoly, one by one, God willing. I won't see it, but others will."
The worst part is that Mihailo was really buried next to the old man Anatoly. But why did Halina wish so much harm on the Sheramet family? Neighbors said that only after her husband's death did Halina realize she was no longer the mistress of the house.
When she found out, there was probably a dispute. After Anatoly's death, they stopped caring for her.
I want to say that all of you are responsible for Mihailo's death. None of you truly loved him. You all wanted him to do what you wanted. Every one of you was dear to him. But he didn't know how to live in harmony with all of you. You didn't care about what was in his heart, and that broke him.
The boy was caught between two fires. On one side, his parents, on the other side, other parents. What did the boy do? The boy shut himself off. When you came, where did you find Mikhailo with his friend?
In the room.
What did you do? You just snapped. You slammed the door and locked yourself in the kitchen, is that right?
I just closed the door.
The boy was left alone. He couldn't go home because there they'd scold him for getting married. He wanted to show everyone how he felt. Excuse the expression. All of you together drove him to the noose.
You pressured him too much and set the bar too high.
Who, me?
You all need to understand that the boy was left alone with all of you good people who claimed you loved him. He was left in a vacuum, in a jar, all alone like a spider. He suffocated from your all-consuming love. Stop arguing with each other. Enough. I'm sick of it already. The boy already paid the price for it. Enough. Kayal, we need to go because everything we could say here we've said.
So, did Mihailo really commit suicide? But the relatives insist they saw marks on his body from a stun gun. Where did they come from?
Most likely, this small mark is an abrasion that formed from the pressure of the knot of the noose. If a stun gun had been used on Mihailo's body, there would have been a characteristic mark in the form of small, pinpoint burns. This is called an electric mark.
Many thanks to these psychics for figuring out and clarifying this situation. We should have prayed for the child because he was a very good kid. But as for their own guilt, like a snake, they shed 5 skins and never feel their own guilt.
There's always a way out of any situation. What he did should never have happened. He should have just talked, and everything would have been resolved.
Mysterious death of a 17-year-old beauty on the night before Halloween. Who is involved? Don't miss out. The victim's ghost will reveal the entire truth to the psychics. Less than a month ago, in a neighborhood not far from the center of a small Ukrainian town, Natalia Sherbach, a 17-year-old first-year university student, was found hanged. The town was immediately flooded with wild rumors, and the media swirled with shocking theories about her death.
Murderous Halloween. 17-year-old bloody bride found hanged. Suicide or punishment for a rebellious fiancé? Costumed girl ends her life.
Natalia was indeed engaged, but she was wearing neither a Halloween costume nor a wedding dress. She was found hanging in ordinary jeans and a jacket.
According to the official police version, Natalia committed suicide, allegedly due to unrequited love.
But her parents, Nadia and Mykola, refused to believe their daughter committed suicide. She was absolutely happy. She had just moved to town to study and dreamed of becoming a teacher.
She couldn't have done it. There was no reason for that.
Natalia was engaged and had even chosen names for her and her fiancé's, Volodymyr, potential children.
She said she wanted to name them Uliana or Oksana.
She dreamed about the wedding. She wanted to be the most beautiful bride.
Nadia and Mikola are convinced their daughter was murdered and the suicide was staged.
The knot was tied so tightly. How could she even tie it like that?
It was tied by a professional. It looked too complex.
What haunts them further are the bruises and scratches they saw on Natalia's body.
There was a mark, like a fingerprint on her arm, right around here.
Her neck was scratched all over, like someone caught her with the rope and dragged her.
Like she was dragged somewhere and then hanged.
It was a cold night, and she was dressed in basically summer clothes, just a light jacket made of faux leather.
To find out what truly happened to their daughter, her parents reached out to the psychics just days after her death. Taking on the investigation of Natalia's mysterious death are medium Dilaram Saparova and clairvoyant Olga Kalinova.
I see a terrifying image of a dead bride. A girl in a white wedding gown slowly turning red, as if it's soaking in blood.
I see a girl dressed completely in black, but she's not mourning anyone. It's just her everyday outfit. She's staring at a building engulfed in flames. She's overwhelmed with guilt, believing the fire was her fault. There's deep emotional pain within her.
Dilaram Saparova and Olga Kalinova arrive in the village where Natalia spent most of her life. Her mother is already waiting for them.
Hello, come in.
Stand up, stand up.
As soon as I entered Natalia's house, I felt unwell. I was afraid because the girl, in life, was flirting with, or even playing with, death.
What do the psychic's strange sensations mean?
I see many people, moving constantly, walking around all the time.
Yes, there's a market nearby.
And there are also some abandoned buildings.
Garages, and yes, an abandoned house.
And I hear booming, like church bells ringing.
There's a church nearby.
The psychics described the exact location where the body was found. It's almost in the town center. Natalia's parents have no idea what she could be doing here. She had been living in a rented apartment on the outskirts. That night, she was preparing for class and wasn't going to go out.
I spoke to her and she was cheerful and happy.
But the next morning, Natalia was found hanged. What really happened that terrible night?
I see the girl. Her presence here is very strong. She's smiling at you.
Your daughter has just come closer to you.
I felt like someone was standing near me.
I see a man, and the man is clutching his chest. He seems terrified.
He found her.
We're standing at the site where Natalia's body was discovered by the owners of house number 94. The homeowner stepped outside at around 5 a.m. and saw a girl's silhouette right behind his gate.
You know, your daughter's spirit doesn't want to speak about her death. We need to go to the cemetery.
We'll need to perform a ritual. spirits rise and help us. What happened?
I sense a young man. Average height, fair-haired and fair-eyed. His heart is racing. He's deeply nervous.
It's like this guy already knew about Natalia's death before anyone else did. He was someone she knew, and she had feelings for him.
That's the guy she was dating.
Volodymyr, Natalia's fiancé, was the first person to raise the alarm.
Around midnight, Natalia's father, Mykola, received a call from her boyfriend, Volodymyr. He said Natalia wasn't answering her phone and was worried that something bad might have happened.
He asked me to call her landlady, claiming something might have happened to Natalia. I immediately called home and told my wife, "Nadia, call the landlady and call me back." When she did, she said, "No, she's not there."
Could Volodymyr somehow be involved in Natalia's death?
I was shown that for Natalia, this wedding was meant to be life-changing. Had she married, she would have broken some powerful chains that had long held her back.
But the wedding never happened. Volodymyr insists that around 11 p.m., he spoke to Natalia on the phone. According to him, she had left her apartment and was heading somewhere unknown.
They were speaking by phone, and then the call dropped. Didn't he know where she was going?
They had a fight.
Yes, we argued often, over little things mainly. She got upset with me. When I told her, "I love you," she hung up. I kept calling, but she didn't pick up.
Volodymyr claims that Natalia just hung up and never answered his calls again.
I saw Natalia leave her apartment as if drawn by something. She was entranced, like a zombie.
Volodymyr says that during their final conversation, Natalia didn't seem like herself. When she stopped answering, he began to panic.
He was terrified of losing her. He truly loved her, but she felt something different.
Volodymyr loved Natalia more than she loved him.
She wasn't sure if it was love or not.
Yes, there was something like that between them.
She said, "I'm tired of this relationship. I want to break up. That's it."
You know, I asked if he was really involved in Natalia's death, and the answer was no. He wasn't.
From what we've learned, the night Natalia died, Volodymyr was at home, in the village 300 kilometers away from the town.
I was at a friend's place.
Natalia began showing herself in a white wedding dress. She tried it on the same day she died. She was preparing for something. She says, "I want to be a dead bride."
One of Natalia's friends, Irina, confirmed that on the day of her death, Natalia really did say she wanted to be a dead bride. The girls were going to celebrate Halloween the following day.
She asked, "What would you be for Halloween?" I said, "A cat." "And you?" She answered, "I like the dead bride idea." We looked at makeup tutorials, went to a second-hand shop to find tulle for the veil, bought black nail polish. It was fun.
On one of her social media accounts, Natalia even posted a photo of how she wanted to look.
I saw Natalia flirting with death. At first glance, it might seem like just a harmless joke, but such things carry powerful energy.
The most terrifying part is that Natalia now appears in dreams to her loved ones and friends in the image of the dead bride.
It feels like she's out there somewhere, in that white dress.
It's like she's in a blood-stained wedding gown.
What does all this mean? The wish to be a dead bride on Halloween, the bloody bridal photos online, and these haunting dreams. How are they connected to Natalia's tragic death?
Your daughter is calling me to the place where the tragedy occurred.
Can we go there?
Of course we can.
Come on then.
The psychics head to the location where Natalia died. It's nearly 100 kilometers away. Her father, who had just ended his shift at work, joins the investigation.
Good evening.
Hello.
This is the tree where Natalia was found hanged.
I feel awful here. This place is horrible. I want to scream and cry. God, help me. I feel really bad.
My legs nearly gave out.
Then I was shown an image. A woman dressed in dark clothing like a nun. She lived in this area. She fell in love with a man and spent a few nights with him, but then he left her. The nun was filled with guilt for having betrayed God. I see her standing before a building, and it's on fire. And the poor soul believed it happened because of her as a punishment.
But what does that mean? What does it have to do with the death of 17-year-old Natalia?
Nadia, come closer to us.
Dilaram seems to be entering a trance-like state. She says that's when she receives the clearest visions. What will the Kazakh clairvoyant uncover?
I can't. I saw that dark-dressed woman again. She's wandering nearby and she's ashamed. And you won't believe what she does. She hangs herself.
Who is this woman in black, and how is she connected to Natalia's death?
Something just ran by.
I feel like someone was over there.
There's a presence near us. A woman. It's soaking in blood adult. She looks to be over 50 years old. And she wants to help. She's a relative of Natalia's, but she's not alive. I also saw a rope.
I think that's my husband's mother. She died around that age, about 50.
14 years ago, Natalia's 52-year-old paternal grandmother, Valentina, was found hanged in her own home. Allegedly, she took her own life out of grief over her late husband.
The grandmother was always by Natalia's side, watching over her, and before her granddaughter's death, she tried desperately to stop it.
Who was Natalia's grandmother trying to save her from?
I need a moment to pull myself together. That woman in black kept appearing before my eyes. But when I looked closer at her face, I realized it was actually Natalia's face. I couldn't believe it. I felt completely lost. Could you all please step away? I can't control myself right now. It's overwhelming.
I swear I felt someone there. Honestly, I was so scared. It felt like someone was behind me.
Half an hour later, the psychics returned to the parents and continued the investigation.
On her last day, Natalia was trying to meet up with some young man.
He was a bit older than your daughter. They met not long before her death and were immediately drawn to each other.
About a month and a half before the tragedy, Natalia met a local young man, also named Volodymyr.
They met, and he gave her flowers, red roses.
They really liked each other. But after a few weeks, Natalia turned him down.
Because she still wanted to be with her fiancé. Natalia was still so young, only 17 years old. She truly thought she was in love and was ready for marriage, but then she met another boy and she was caught between two fires. Her parents had raised her with strong morals, so for her, cheating on her fiancé was unthinkable. That's why she refused to start anything new. But you know, despite rejecting him, she still had feelings for him. Some part of her loved him. She was torn.
She was caught between both. She met that Volodymyr, but she still had her fiancé. She just didn't know whom to choose.
And on the day she died, that boy was already with someone else. It seems that when she came here, her mind was clouded. It wasn't drugs. It wasn't alcohol. She knew she had been here before. People always return to places they've been in past lives.
And suddenly, I understood why I kept seeing the woman in black, the one who took her own life somewhere near here. I saw her in her past life, in confinement, but by her own will. Like a nun who's renounced worldly life. Long, long ago, 200 or 300 years ago, she made a vow to God. But then she met a man and broke that vow. They were together. And afterward, she was consumed by guilt. And then I saw flames. She believed the building burned down as punishment, and that God had condemned her.
She took that fire as a divine punishment, and unable to bear the guilt, she hanged herself.
We spoke to the locals and historians. It turns out that nearly 300 years ago, there really was a convent in this town, and it burned multiple times.
In 1670, a women's monastery was founded here. History records 2 major fires that devastated the town, and the consequences were catastrophic.
The second fire claimed many lives, including at the Dormition Women's Monastery.
The nuns lived in wooden cells. So many perished in the flames.
As for the possibility of a nun's suicide, the historians explain the following.
Taking one's own life is a grave sin. If such a thing occurred in a monastery, the entire monastery would have to be reconsecrated. And traditionally, what happened inside the convent stayed there. It was the abbess's duty to preserve purity and sanctity.
In her past life, Natalia was a nun, but she sinned and spent a night with a man. Though before that, she lived in full accordance with God's will. So after her suicide, God didn't leave her soul wandering the earth, as is believed to happen with others, and gave her another chance to atone.
But how could what happened to Natalia in her past life relate to her present-day death?
In her past life, she betrayed God. So in this life, she was haunted by dark forces.
Those dark spirits kept trying to lure her from the righteous path. The only way out was for her to marry. That's why she longed for it, to start a family and have children.
She left her apartment, a rope in her hand. She wandered the town and came here by instinct.
I sensed that on the day and at the moment of Natalia's death, all otherworldly forces were activated. She triggered them herself by toying with death when she decided to become the dead bride. She hanged herself, and she did it alone.
Please forgive us.
But then, where did the bruises and scratches on Natalia's body come from?
Most likely, the abrasions on Natalia's neck formed when she placed the noose around her neck, and the bruise her family saw on her arm was simply post-mortem lividity.
We're so grateful. We'll try to learn to live with this. I don't know how, but we'll keep going.